Welcome, Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and I have returned from my hiatus. And I bring wonderful news. The main reason I have left for a while was that I got married. And I'm super happy about it. In fact, my lovely wife is here with us for this debut of my sort of return to making reviews. And here she is. And there she was. That was my Composite Enerjane. And she knows next to nothing about Transformers. Isn't that right?
Nope.
So she can give a nice little non-fan perspective on things. So yeah. So I'm back. And I'm going to hopefully be able to do more videos in a more... how would I say this? Consistent pattern. There we go. Consecutive was the word I was looking for. So yeah, so for my comeback, I guess, today's review is going to be on the Transformers Cyberverse Ultra Class Sludge. I think the full title is actually a lot longer. It's Transformers Cyberverse Bumblebee Adventures Dinobots Unite Ultra Class Sludge. They added 3 subtitles to that. I don't know why, but they did. So here is Sludge in all of his robotic dinosaur glory. More specifically, with this design being based off of his Generation 1 Sludge counterpart, this is actually a mechanical Brontosaurus. Now, Jane, is Brontosaurus a real dinosaur?
I think so.
I think so too, but I think back in the day, like during the 80s, because this design is based off of an 80s design, I think it was real, but then it was sort of the words, I want to say retconned, but that doesn't really apply for science. But I think it was then discovered that that's not the real name, and it turns out it was Brachiosaurus or an Apatosaurus. But then later they brought it back and said that yes, Brontosaurus was a real dinosaur.
Wikipedia says that it is a genus of gigantic quadruped sauropod dinosaurs.
So Brontosaurus is real.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is Sludge in his beast mode, which is a mechanical Brontosaurus. And here he is, and it looks pretty good. It feels like an updated version of the original 80s design, with nice bits of gray, red, black, and some gold accents. He has nice blue eyes, which is cool. And since this is a beast mode, I can show off articulation. So his hind legs can do a full 360 with a little bit of okay, not full 360. It's more like a 180 right there. Tail doesn't move. The forelegs can go out, in, all the way around, and has a ball joint here at his. Would you call this an elbow?
Yes.
Really? Even though on a dog, so on a cat, you would say that the elbow would be an elbow?
Let's find out.
Well, she searches that up because I've always wondered if this is considered an elbow. And it'll make more sense why I'm calling it an elbow later when I transform them, but
Felines have elbow-like hinge joints
in their forelegs.
on each front leg and condylar knee-like joint on each back leg.
Well, that's the internet for you. So apparently, yes, this is still an elbow. So why not? So yeah, you have some movement there, limited movement here, nothing else, and you have a jaw. So yes, Sludge can open and close his mouth, which is a nice little touch. So enough gawking about the beast mode, which I think I've prattled on a little bit too long. So my love, any comments?
It's a pretty cool dinosaur.
Okay. Cool. Any other comments?
I like the gold head.
Cool. All right. So let's get on with transformation. First, we got to remove the tail, which is just by lifting up and out. And in a weird design, I don't know why they have these plugs on here, because how he's supposed to connect is by sliding it in. So I guess these are meant to be for stability, but just pop up. Oh, now it doesn't want to come out. Pop up and out. And then here's the tail. we'll put that off to the side for now, and then get to the rest of the body. And this figure is pretty straightforward in transformations. Just fold these out, fold up, and then split apart sort of the back of his neck. Well, first push forward a little bit, disconnect, and then push these back. And then you fold these down, and then unfold and rotate to get his legs, and then you split. So now we have the lower half. And these have like a soft, sort of, when you move them to a certain spot, they sort of stay in place. It's like a soft friction spot. You bring down these arms, rotate, rotate. And then, for the head reveal, you pull this back. And then you clip these into here in these ports. Fold these back. And, oh, then you have to come down here and flip out. Come on. Come on. There we go. You gotta flip out his hands. Flip out his hands. And there we have Sludge in his robot mode. Get a close-up look at that head sculpt. And for some reason on this figure, they gave him a blue head, even though the character, I think, is supposed to have a black head. Like his fellow Dinobots. But strangely enough, they gave him a blue head. So yeah. So, my lovely wife Jane, what do you think of the robot mode?
I like it. Where'd you put his tail?
Oh, it's off to the side. I'll talk to this ends up becoming an accessory, so I'll show that off later. But first, let's get on with the main figure and go on with articulation. But before then, overall, this design is pretty cool. I don't like all of this backpack, but that's what the character is supposed to look like. It was there on the original G1 figure, and it's present on the design of even the show. And I didn't mention this, but this is a TV show. The Cyberverse is a TV show. Yeah, and his design looks like this too, with just the dino head just dragging there. I'm not a fan of massive backpacks, but it works. So yeah, articulation, head, does not move. Arms, up, down, all around, and ball joint at the elbow. And if you want, he does technically have a wrist, if you use your imagination. Does have a waist, which is nice. Ball joint at the leg, and a very nice knee. So he is quite posable, which is always a plus for me. And now, to come to the tail that my lovely Enerjane mentioned, this becomes his weapon. So, let me get him standing. Oh, he is obviously back heavy, so let me have his arms forward. There we go. So, you see this little piece here? You just fold down and out. It'll click, and then click, and here we have his spear, which you just shove on any one of his hands. I prefer the left hand. It's a bit tight, but it gets in there. And what do you think? Should I have this be up or this be down for the spear?
Up.
So like this?
Yes.
Keep it like that. All right, so yeah, here we have Sludge with his tail spear. And from what I can tell, you can't really store the spear anywhere. And I haven't found any mention of it. So you can't really store this away like in his robot mode. But he can hold it. And thanks to the little wrist action, you can have him point the spear forward, which is nice. But I don't know if that was intentional or if that's just an accidental bonus. Now, he does come with one extra feature, which is, I believe, common with all of the Ultra classes. Oh, and if you're not aware, Ultra class is basically the Cyberverse equivalent to a Voyager. So they're roughly this size class. They're roughly the same size. So yeah, one extra feature he has, which comes with I think all of the Ultra classes, is that he has Energon Armor. And to activate it, it's a spring-loaded function. You take his back and unclip it there, and then you slide down his back to reveal it. So, you ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Slide down. Cool. And boom. Then you slide back up. And then it should, wants to click back into place. I'm kind of indifferent to this feature. There we go. But as long as it's sort of out of the way, I don't really mind. So here we have the Energon Armor, which, it's okay. It's alright. I'm indifferent to these little Energon gimmicks, but I do like that they fold away. And they don't really interfere with the articulation too much. Although it does mean he doesn't have a neck, so he can't really move his head. But I do like the color, I like the clearness, and I even like that they mold it in. I don't know if you can see it, but they mold it in like a dino head. Which looks really cool. So what's your take on the Energon Armor?
I don't care for it, because someone could just go for the knees.
That's funny. That's one way to look at it. Yeah, I think on the show, if this does pop up on the show, I think it's supposed to cover more of his body. But I haven't seen this show. I'm not really interested, but maybe I'll finally watch it to see what happens. Alright, so let's fold it back. So you fold this down. Oh, fold, and then lift it up. And you just click into place. And there we have it. Either way, I kind of prefer them without the armor. So yeah, that is Sludge. Overall, pretty decent figure. No, not even decent. He's more than decent. He's pretty good. Also, what do you think? Back pieces out like this or like this?
Like that.
Like that. Apparently, this is the official way to do it. I think even on the show, he has these pieces folded out like that. Which I think just looks really weird. Mm-hmm. It just gives him these unnecessary wings. At least it looks a little more compact. I love you. Alright, so, yeah. That has been... He's very top heavy, so... Hold on. There we go. So, that has been my review of the Transformers. Oh, wait, not yet. Yeah, so overall, pretty good figure. Your take, Jane?
I like it.
You like it, even though you've never heard of this character before?
Exactly, but he's a dinosaur, so I like it.
I mean, everybody likes the Dinobots.
I like dinosaurs. I like dinosaur chicken nuggets. I just...
well, you're in luck. There's a whole squad of these guys. And different versions. She's only, I think the most she's ever seen of Transformers is like, the first movie, which I showed her once? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's about it. And and I think through kind of the rare glance, she's seen me watch the Netflix Transformers Kingdom, right? You've seen like that a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, and that's about it. So she kind of knows who Optimus Primal is. He was the gorilla.
I didn't know who Optimus Primal is. I tried to find him on Amazon for you, but you found him at Target.
Yeah, that was that whole story. So yeah, I think I mentioned that in the Optimus Primal video. I'm not to make it a plug to go see that video. But I mentioned that story that I was one of the reasons that I fell in love with her was those sort of little actions that she did. Well, I love you too. So yeah, this is Sludge. So this has been my review of the Transformers Cyberverse Ultra Class Sludge, and this is Composite Enerjoe and Composite Enerjane.
Hi, bye.
Signing off. So peace out and be safe.